Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we will be doing the south coast tour of Iceland. So I'm very excited for this tour because we're going to see a lot of waterfalls and visit the famous black sand beach. I booked this tour with YourDay Tours, and this is a small group tour from Reykjavik. And fun fact, in Iceland, the red lights actually turn back to yellow before they turn green again, which I thought was interesting because it kind of gives you a heads up when the light is going to turn green again. This is different from in the US because once it's red, it goes straight back to green. It doesn't go back to yellow, which I thought was pretty cool. So something that was very interesting he pointed out was this farm on the side of the road and how it has a forest behind the farm. So the trees provide protection for the farm in case there's an avalanche, since the house is at the bottom of the mountain. So sometimes rocks might break off and roll down the mountain, and so the little forest can protect the farm. I thought that was very cool and I've never seen that before. So our first stop was at this volcano, which erupted back in 2010 and caused a lot of flight delays all over Europe during that time. So when this volcano erupted, it created a bunch of ash in the air and it prevented planes from flying. I thought it was really cool to see the picture from 2010 when the volcano erupted at the same angle to compare what it looks like today. So our next stop was the glacier. So this is one of Iceland's most accessible glaciers, and it's about a 10-minute walk from the parking lot. And you can also hike this glacier on a tour. I was blown away by how small the people are in comparison to the glacier. It is huge, and if you can see there, you can see the tiny people on top of the glacier. I was definitely too terrified to do the glacier hike tour, but several people did pass us on our walk to the glacier that were going on that tour. Our tour guide did tell us that the glacier used to cover a lot more distance than it does now, and it used to be closer to the parking lot, and you wouldn't have to walk so far to get to the glacier. But because of climate change now and global warming, the glacier has kind of receded back, but it's still magnificent in size and very pretty. I thought it was really cool to see all the layers of volcanic ash that are trapped in the glacier. I decided to walk around a little bit and enjoy the scenery before we moved on to our next stop. So our next stop was the black sand beach. It was very windy and it started to rain, but that did not take away from the beauty of this beach. I was really mesmerized by how the rock is eroded on the side of this mountain, and I thought it was just so beautiful the way that the rock has been shaped. And our tour guide warned us that people have died in the past because of sleeper waves, which are waves that out of nowhere just come up really high on the beach and very powerful and can actually suck you back out into the water if you're not paying attention. I did see a few big waves come up that were very powerful. So it started to get really windy and rainy, so I decided to go inside the little cafe, and it was very crowded because everybody was trying to get out of the weather. And it's not very big, as you can tell, but this is the menu. So I decided to get a chocolate muffin, something light and quick before our next stop. So our next stop was this waterfall. And you can actually take the stairs all the way up to a viewing platform. Now, I did not walk all the way up there because it was about 15 million steps. So I was not about to get stuck halfway up and not be able to come back in time before our van left. Maybe next time, but not to worry if you cannot climb stairs. The view from the ground is beautiful. And I also believe this waterfall was in the Game of Thrones. I'll see if I can throw a clip in of it here, if I can find it. Our next stop was another waterfall, and I also believe this waterfall was in The Amazing Race. And this waterfall, you can actually walk behind it. I did walk behind this waterfall, and I would say it is worth it to walk behind it. I highly recommend to take the time to walk behind the waterfall if you're able to. I really enjoyed it because you can get very up close and it gives you a different viewpoint of a waterfall.
She puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts run.
And I think this might be my favorite waterfall of the trip. There is a little gift shop where you can buy souvenirs. I did take a look around in there afterwards, and it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed this tour because of our tour guide. He was phenomenal. He was very funny and informative, and he had all these stories that he told us along the way, which I found interesting just to listen to. And he would point out different things while we were driving, which I really enjoyed. So shout out to our tour guide. He did a phenomenal job. So I highly recommend you book with YourDay Tours. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for my next video where I have a relaxing day at the Blue Lagoon and try several different restaurants in Reykjavik.